Hi everyone, it's Kelly from The Hub. I am here today with our friend Brittany Mellinger from the Lancaster Housing Opportunity Partnership, fondly known as LHOP. Hello there, Brittany, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Kelly?
Good. So today's topic is something that is incredibly timely right now. Um, Brittany is going to fill us in on what everybody in the industry is calling EPN, which is the Eviction Prevention Network. Little bit of background. So when all the COVID stuff happened, there was a moratorium for non-payment of rent monies and mortgages, right, Brittany?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Foreclosures.
Right. So that moratorium in Pennsylvania is set for a big chunk of housing people this coming Friday, July 10th. So we wanted to let all of you know that there are programs out there, that's why this is called the Eviction Prevention Network, about how to prevent you from getting evicted. And that's what we're really going to be concentrating on for this interview. So, because Brittany is the smartest person in the whole room about how this stuff works, she gets to be the expert, thank goodness. So how does this work, Brittany, and who can qualify for this kind of help?
Okay. So I'd like to start out by first saying the first step that you should do if you think that you're in danger of being evicted is talk to your landlord. So I know that can feel really hard and really scary, especially if they're not someone that you like to talk to on a regular basis, and owing them money is really complicating the matter. But it's always better to get it out in the open, let them know what your situation is, your plan for how to address it, what you're going through, and let them know that if you're seeking other assistance as well. So that way they can try to work with you as best as they can, and you can make a plan together.
Right, because just doing that, you may be able to work out a program with your landlord and make it all better and not have to worry about the next step.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for that. That's perfect.
Definitely a possibility, but sometimes the math just doesn't add up and you're not going to have the money to pay, and the landlord may be letting you know that they're intending to evict you. So there are a couple different programs that I'd like to talk with you about today. And they have a lot of similarities, but a couple differences. So please bear with me because it gets a little bit into the nitty-gritty.
Right, and remember, if you have questions, you can put comments on this video, and you can put comments or call over to LHOP, and they can help you work through some of those things if your situation doesn't fit, or you think your situation doesn't fit in either one of the categories. So don't worry about making that complicated. We will make that as easy as we possibly can for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Kelly.
Roll it out.
So the Eviction Prevention Network that Kelly mentioned earlier has been around since 2018. We had received some funding through a state agency, and we had worked to help folks that were in danger of eviction because of a life event. So a medical emergency, a car broke down, temporarily lost a job, but you were able to get back on your feet and just needed some money to cover the gap. We all know that because of COVID, a lot of folks are in a lot tougher situations than they were before, and you might not just need a little bit of money to get over a gap. You might be looking at sustained unemployment, childcare issues that are keeping you from work, perhaps health issues due to COVID-19. So our eligibility looks a little bit different. So to qualify for this assistance, you need to be a renter, you need to live in Lancaster County, and your landlord needs to be willing to work with you and retain you as a renter if you're able to come up with a plan to address these arrears. You need to have lost income due to COVID-19, and you need to have heard from your landlord that they were intending to evict you or ask you to leave because of non-payment of rent. So that doesn't have to be a big fancy letter from the courts. That could be a text, that could be an email, that could be a letter, that could be your landlord confirming with the housing counselor that they need you to move if you can't pay your rent. There's a lot of ways to work around that. But to get started with this process, you can either reach out to Kelly directly, or you can call 211 and they will screen you and ask you a lot of these questions to make sure that you qualify.
Yeah, we have an application on our website. So if you go to the northernlancasterhub.org, you can see it's on every page. So you can see if you've been impacted by COVID-19 and you think that you are facing eviction, you can fill out. It's a very short application of just, name and phone number and address and all that kind of stuff. And then we will get you to someone who can help you. So you have to live within our service area, which is the Ephrata or the Cocalico school districts. So once you've done that, we can certainly take care of you then. If you are outside of this area and you are watching this, then absolutely call 211 and they will send you to the people who are in your area who can help you out the best.
Absolutely. So what happens next? After you fill out that form, you get connected with a housing counselor, a financial counselor, a case manager, someone that's going to be able to sit down with you, make sure that you've got all the documentation that you need, and can create a plan going forward with you. So some of the things that they are likely to ask you for are identification, pay stubs, other documentation that can prove your income if it's other than from a job. Bank statements, tax returns, utility bills, and your lease. So now's a great time to start getting that information together, particularly if you don't have it all in one place on hand. We encourage that you let your landlord know that you're working on securing assistance, since they likely know that you're behind on your rent. So that way they know to listen out for a call from a financial counselor about this program, because they're going to have to agree to accept payment and indicate that they're willing to keep you on as a tenant if they're provided this assistance. So the financial counselor will talk with you, create a budget, figure out what income you have coming in, your expenses, and figure out what you can afford to pay in rent, and then figure out what this program can do to make up that gap. It's possible that you may receive several months of assistance going forward, or some money to make up a rental arrears. It's really dependent on each person's situation, what financial assistance they'll receive.
I think that this is absolutely one of those things that we all know this is hard. This whole situation is hard. It's hard from losing your job and not being able to afford some things, having health issues for some people. The best part about this is that we are all truly in this together, and do not feel bad about asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Absolutely.
feel ashamed. Don't feel like you're the only one. Don't feel like someone's going to say something not kind to you. Everybody who is doing this work is in this to make sure that you can be as good coming out of this as you possibly can be. So I know that that's hard for a lot of people. Like, I got to ask people and I got to show them my bank statements and I don't want them to think I'm a loser. No. Put all that stuff out of your head. We are all here to be able to help. And we've gotten monies from the federal government, from the state government, from the county government, from lots of other places to be able to help people out. So I just want to sort of put that plug in there that we know it's hard, but it's okay. We are here to be able to do this with you.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Kelly. We're all in situations that we never thought we would be in earlier this year. 2020 is not what any of us planned for.
Right.
So please don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there will be some process that you have to go through. That's our funder's requirement. We're not trying to make things difficult on you, but there is some paperwork. There will likely have to be some verification of your home to make sure that it's safe and livable. So that might be a video chat. Someone might have to come out briefly to just check and make sure that it's safe. Because if we're providing federal funds to your landlord on your behalf, we just have to make sure that it's a safe place to live.
And those are good things to be able to do to make sure that the money is going toward a house that is sustainable place to live for the people who are there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I do also want to take a little bit of time and talk about a different program
Okay.
that's being administered through the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. So that's a
Otherwise known as
statewide
the
agency.
PHFA, for those of you who like a lot of acronyms.
Yep, PHFA. So I'll throw out another acronym for those of you that like housing acronyms. The LCHRA, the Lancaster County Housing and Redevelopment Authority, is the local agency that's administering this program. So it's a state program administered on the local level.
And who's this program for?
So this is for tenants who have lost at least 30% of their income due to COVID. So they have this specific threshold that you need to meet, and it has to be earned income. So they've got a couple forms on their website that you'll fill out and your landlord is going to fill out. Your landlord could initiate this process and then you follow up with your forms. Either way, it doesn't matter who starts it, but you'll both have to fill out the forms and submit them to the housing authority in order to engage in this program. Now this one's a little bit different. They can offer up to 6 months of rental assistance if needed, but they've got a maximum of $750 per month that they can pay out.
So if you have a $1,000 rent, then you would have to come up with the rest.
Well, the landlord can't, they cannot evict you if you're not able to pay the rest. So it's a little bit complicated. And we're still working out the details of if that can be combined with other assistance. But the important thing to know is that this program, it's called the Rent Relief Program, RRP, for you acronym aficionados. They cannot pay out more than $750 or 6 months total. That's their limits. So. But all of their information is on their website as well as PHFA's website, and I'm sure Kelly can link to that in the Facebook post as well. So they've got lots of great information there as well, and they are available to answer your questions and to help you figure this program out, because they are also here to help.
Yeah, please don't think that you have to be an expert in, do I qualify for the PHFA or don't worry about that stuff. If we will, and by we, I mean everybody who is here to help, can help you, to help guide you through the programs that you will qualify for. And I also want to say this thing. This is one of those things. When Brittany said we are still working that out, we means a lot of people in that network. There is guidance from the federal government, there's guidance from the state government, there's guidance from the county government, there's guidance from local agencies that truly changes regularly. And by regularly, Brittany could get a bulletin this evening and things could change, or for the better or the worse. We have no idea how that is, because all of this stuff is evolving in such a manner. We are all trying to make sure we're giving you the best information, which is why we're doing these videos, so that you know the most up-to-date thing that we possibly know to be able to help guide you. So please don't think that people are like, oh, they're not even smart. They're smarter than the average bear over here at LHOP. And we are literally getting emails and phone calls and all that stuff on a regular basis. So please be kind, as we are all trying to be during this time of a lot of stress, as we're sort of managing all of these sort of balls in the air. So yeah, this is wonderful. Think about it in that terms, is that a horrible viral pandemic has hit us, and there are monies that are being opened up to be able to help people out in ways that we have never seen before, at least since the Great Depression. So LHOP is truly, I think I say this every single time Brittany and I meet, they are truly the experts in pretty much every single thing involving a structure that you live in. So let us use their smartness and their guidance, and let them help you out. So feel free to contact us in any way that you like, or LHOP. You can always speak to Brittany because she has a cool Google Voice number, which I'll put there sometime for you all. And that's it. Brittany, any last words you want to say to all of our friends?
Just please reach out. Your landlord, reach out to us. It's always better to open up those lines of communication and get things started.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.